Hey, it's Mark Flusher, MTC Media here. Georgetown wrapping up practice, about to go to Canada tomorrow. So, a lot of preparation, our first official media availability of the summer. So, Ed was ready to talk, and he did not disappoint. And here's what he had to say going into the trip.
Hey, Coach, what are some of the things you hope to accomplish out of this trip to Canada? What are you looking to see since we're late in the summer, but earlier in the process?
Definitely late in the summer. Our men have been here for 9 weeks, and it's a great opportunity for us to come together. We're looking for chemistry, continuity. We're going there. Three of our players will not be playing in that. KJ won't be playing, Kayvon won't be playing, and Langston won't be playing. So we'll have a chance to see some of the other guys. We'll look at different rotations. We'll look at different lineups, a small lineup, a big lineup. We're just looking to see know-how. What carryover do we have from, the summer, as far as the philosophy, trying to build our identity, trying to see what players mesh well together. So I think it's a great opportunity for us. And at the same time, we're still going to try to go there and win a gold medal.
And you talk about identity. We're in year 3 here.
Yep.
Has the program kind of turned into what you envisioned it when you first got here?
I think it's still evolving, right? I think it's still evolving. I think we've done some great things here, and unfortunately in our business, you're judged on winning and losing. And I feel we've made significant strides, but what I'm more happy about is the infrastructure and alignment we're building around our organization, from our faculty and staff, to our students, to our alum, to the community. I think we've done a lot of good things, again, respecting tradition, respecting legacy, but trying to modernize Georgetown men's basketball given this new landscape of college sports, right? Everybody goes back to, 1984, 1985, this, that. Oh, love it. Times have changed, and we have to change with that, with the philosophy of now you're building teams versus building programs. And hopefully you have a foundation of, enthusiasm, excitement, gratitude, appreciation. Hopefully that's the foundation and the ethos of your organization, but you got to adjust to that. So I think we've come a long way, a long, long way, right? Every time you're climbing that mountain, you never look behind, but sometimes you got to see how far you've come and how far you've climbed.
Coach Thompson on the baseball team has done a really good job in the transfer world of having some tentpole players and bringing guys around them. How important is it to have a Malik here, have a Caleb here who kind of know the way you want to do things when you bring in new players?
It's funny you say that because we're going to have some players come to my house tonight and we're going to talk about how do you sustain culture. So we have some carryover guys, right? And not just them, but Mason Moses, right? Austin Montgomery, we have, Magic Mike from New Jersey, call him Magic Mike Rappaport. So those guys, Julius, Seal, Jaden Fort, we at least have some carryover where we didn't have year 1. We've had a lot of new players. We systematically did not take any freshmen last year. We will take freshmen as we move forward in that 2026 class. Those are the things we did from a strategic standpoint to rebuild, reconstruct, re-identify Georgetown basketball. So I like where we're at. I'm really excited to see some of these guys play. Julius played 5 or 6 games. Seal has never played in college. Fort's never played in college. So, you have some guys you've taken in the portal that didn't have significant minutes on their last team. So we're excited to see what they're about to do.
When you look at going into an event like this, obviously you're looking at lineups, those type of things. Can you prepare at all for teams you're going to see, or is it kind of just, hey, let's go play some basketball?
I like our lack of preparation with respect to, okay, can guys follow fundamentals defensively first and foremost? Right? Do you switch? Are you supposed to switch? What's our ball screen coverage? We're not going to scout purposely to see what guys have carryover fundamentally on how we want to play. How we want to play offensively, how we want to play defensively, adjustments we have to make. The biggest adjustment these guys are going to have, Julius has experience with it. A couple of our Team USA guys, that have played, it's FIBA basketball. They can't call timeout on the fly. It has to be a dead ball. You can hit the ball off the rim. You can advance the ball the last 2 minutes. It's 4 quarters. So it's definitely an adjust. You have to get the ball over half court in 8 seconds. It's a 24-second shot clock, right? You don't know. The officials can be from anywhere around the world. They may not even speak English. So, it's a major, major adjustment, but it's also an opportunity for us to continue to grow. I mean, our schedule is a little bit more challenging than it was the first 2 years, given you're going to schedule based on where you think your team is capable of going. We have to stay healthy. The biggest thing for us is we have to stay healthy. Have to stay. We have not been healthy in 17, 18 months.
This is from Ron Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah,
Ron,
he wanted me
hopefully
to
he's
ask
doing all
you, is defensively, do you think this team can be more offensive in terms of generating easy baskets?
I do think. I think this potentially could be one of the elite defensive teams in the country. I think our size, our length, our athleticism, our physicality, if our know-how, if our know-how is in place and our men are disciplined, emotionally, mentally, physically, I feel we can have an outstanding defensive team, and we can put many different lineups out there with our depth and our athleticism.
And then he asked, name 3 guys possible eyeing leadership roles and why.
Mo, Larry, and Curly. No, I think leadership-wise, obviously you're going to have some carryover. Malik, we're going to look for more leadership from. Vocally, I would say the biggest surprise leader we've had so far has been Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a natural leader. He's a natural leader, someone who is not afraid to make mistakes. And so many times in this portal, when players haven't had the opportunity to quote unquote play their game at the last institution, many of them are afraid. So what I can tell all these young men and women that are transferring schools that are coming, don't be afraid of mistakes. Deal with the consequence. Have amnesia for onto the next play, learn from it, but don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to play with energy, heart, enthusiasm. Too many kids are playing on their heels, not playing on their toes. Coach got to inject energy into them. They got to give them confidence. Yet at the same time, you have to deliver, right? Everybody wants this opportunity. Are they maximizing it, right? My game, what is your game? My game is winning. That's what we're about. And I think Jeremiah is of that mindset. And I think the third person that has to really pick his game up vocally is probably Vince. Now, what I pointed out was 3 of the older guys on the team. 3 of the older guys. You know, as KJ gets healthy, we'll see what he can add. But I think Jeremiah is going to be a surprise to many on just his toughness, his attitude, and his relentless approach. I know that was a long-winded answer. Maybe the longest I've ever given my career, but it's real.
Ron would have appreciated that, though.
Are we good?
So, I don't know, we haven't talked to you since. Your thoughts on draft season with Mike and Thomas?
I appreciate that question. You know, when you're in Brooklyn and you have 2 of your players there, you know, what gets overshadowed is, you know, I'm so hell-bent on trying to build a program. You know, one of our assistants said, Coach, you have 2 players drafted in the top 40, one in the top 15. How can you not be excited for them, happy for them, and to see the emotion that comes out of them? And they're crying, we're crying together as a family, a unit. I really appreciate them. They're going to be missed. I wish I had them both on this year's team, yet you come here, A, to be educated, and to try to get to the NBA. That's where the program is over a 24-month period to have 2 NBA players, one of which was a really high draft pick. We're doing our job, and we're saying what we're saying to reestablish that identity of Georgetown basketball being a feeder system to that NBA.
I know we're getting closer to the season to talk about it, but you mentioned schedule. There's a lot of big names fans should get excited about on this schedule. You mentioned the why. How excited are the kids and the team and you to play a schedule like that?
Our players are really excited. It's one of these Hoya Bowl things we want to talk about. Remember that term, Hoya Bowl. Please remember that. Our players deserve it. I think we're earning it. A couple on the road are going to be really tough. Obviously, we're really excited to be playing Maryland again, right? New coach. Buzz is going to do a great job for the Terrapins, obviously going down to Chapel Hill with Coach Davis, and then bringing Clemson in, then going down to Florida to play in a really good tournament that has Dayton, BYU, a top 5 team in the country, Miami, a brand new coach, brought in a lot of talent. So over the balance of the schedule seems favorable. Next year, I believe the NCAA we're going to add a 30-second game, so you'll see more and more competitive games. But this is what I want to tell Hoya Nation. please come cheer for us, not who we're playing for. And again, give us a chance to help build this program, help rebuild this identity. It doesn't happen overnight. And we need people to remain patient, but remain encouraged, excited, and enthusiastic to come watch Georgetown, regardless of who we're playing. We can be playing us 5 right here. I need us to come out with that same joy, passion, and desire to overcome adversity, continue to develop, and beat the hell out of teams. That's what I'm hoping for.
So if you were here last summer, Caleb Williams came in. He was an instant contributor, but, just like every freshman that comes into the Big East, there is a learning curve. This summer has been completely different. He's the same guy, but he looks so much like a different guy. He has a lot more confidence. It's like he's a little bit quicker just simply because he doesn't look like he's been thinking as much. Furthermore, he could end up being the best perimeter shooter on the team. He's definitely going to be up there. He has shown this summer quicker release. Mechanics had always been solid. So he's really looking like his contribution to this offense could be even bigger than last season for Georgetown. It's definitely going to be needed. He had a chance to sit down and talk with the media today in preparation with going to Canada.
So what's the summer been like for you guys, especially as a guy returning, kind of seeing past summers to this summer?
Just putting in a lot of work, getting in our hours early, spending a lot of time with the guys around the court, building that chemistry. Putting a lot of time in.
I asked Ed about this. I'll ask you. You, Malik, Julius, other guys that are back from last year, kind of feel a little bit of having to take a leadership role where it's some new guys in here and you're a guy that can show the way that Coach Cooley wants to do it?
Definitely. We know already the culture that Coach wants to build. And we're just guys who have already been here to see it, so we kind of set the tone there early on and allow for the other guys to watch us and then help us lead as well.
Early on, what has been some of the differences you've seen in your game now that you have a year under your belt? Just how much more comfortable do you feel in the process right now than this time last year?
I say right now, just being here before just gives me that extra comfort to go out there and, play my game. Not really have to worry about the little stuff as much as I did last year. So yeah, just been putting a lot of work in, so that also contributes to the confidence that, I'm bringing this year.
And your offensive game, just how varied has it been? Now that you kind of know what the speed is on this level, the strength is, how have you in the offseason been able to kind of like leverage that knowledge that you gained?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, the speed and the physicality from high school is way different. So I've been working a lot to get my shot off quicker. And then that way, once I hit a few, then my drive will be able to open up, and that's when I'll be able to make plays for my teammates. So just staying locked in on that stuff and letting it else come to me.
And with so many new players here, what was kind of the turnaround of you guys really starting to mesh so many different places, so many different experiences? How have you guys come together?
Through a bunch of different things. We talked about a fishing trip together. We talked about, just doing a lot of stuff throughout the day. And while also when we're in here, the energy when we're working out is something that's kind of helped us to mold that chemistry together. Off the court is a lot, but on the court, that's when we're going to go to war against other guys. So, just trying to communicate with each other as best as we can and get a feel for each other's game. That way, when it comes time to play somebody else in a different jersey, we're ready to go.
How excited are you guys to go up to Canada and play in this event?
I'm real excited. The rest of the guys are real excited. Just another opportunity.